Hey, what's up YouTube, Badger here, and we're back in day 25 of our 100 player, just fun series. Now, a lot has changed over the past couple of episodes. There's been some developments, some changes, and quite a few things to go over. So we'll start with the index nations. Italy, King Congo is in first, I am in second, then we have Rog, New England in third, and yeah, so we're actually pretty far up there at the moment. In terms of stats, I'm hoping there'll be a good stat today that comes out, hopefully about economies, because I invested heavily in mine and I want to see it paying off. But we'll have to wait and see. The day changes in about 45 minutes, so yeah, I'll know when we get there. Anyway, so you'll notice that we control New South Wales. Now, our ally New South Wales is going away for a week to 2 weeks, and he insisted that I have his core territory so I can make the most of it while he's gone. His call, not mine. He was going to, offering it up to some of the allies in Asia and stuff like that. But I figured if he's going to give it up, as much as I don't want him to give it up, I may as well be the one that controls it. And it bloody pisses me off because I missed Adelaide by that much, and I used the one shared map trade he gave me. So I mean, I could potentially get that fixed, but I think he's gone at this point. So that's a little tough. Anyway, so to help manage morale and to ensure as we grow, I have also moved our capital, and I'm actually currently moving it, not fully back, but it was up here in 10, but I'm moving it further back down south. Now, I feel as though I moved it a little too far north. We want to keep our core territories at 100% morale, but we also want to make sure that the provinces in the north also have a high morale. So by moving it up to here, where it's currently building at the moment, it will better service our provinces in Asia and help keep the morale higher there. We've invested heavily in fortifications in our core, but these alone would not be enough to keep it at 100%. If we have a look already, with our capital currently in 10, we can see that our morale would be falling, and that is even with level 4 fortifications. So, I mean, I want to keep that up, and I don't want to let our morale get too low, or else then our economy goes to shit. And our economy needs to be strong right now. As you can see, we are investing heavily in it, but I need it to be stronger, and I need to get food positive. So, we'll get to that soon. But we've nearly finished taking out National China and his ally. Now, this is taking some time, because I was not prepared for the land grab that would ensue. I didn't expect them just to go inactive like that. That was the last thing I thought they'd do. So they pretty much gave up. They didn't put up much of a fight. And so now the few troops we do have are all over the place trying to collect provinces. And I mean, I was going in there, I was going to hold some core territories, hold them up for a bit, damage their economies, and just push slowly. But I mean, yeah, this is taking some time. Now, anyway, we're getting there slowly, and we're nearly done. The hard part, and the part that's going to take some time, is dealing with these provinces all the way up here. Like, we're going to have to get up here and deal to these somehow, and that is not going to be easy. I'm hoping that they rebel. Like, I mean, some of these provinces here are already pretty goddamn low. They should rebel and join their former countries, in which case we don't need to worry about it. But their main territories are all but gone, and as we can see, if we click on them, they're both inactive. So, I mean, we can take all day with that if we want. So with these two players out of the game, we've got to move on. And luckily, an enemy has presented it to ourselves. King Congo, with the help of Spain and South India, have rallied and have started attacking our allies in South Africa. So that will be the next, I guess, port to call. We're going to show up over there and we're going to kick some ass, hopefully. But in the meantime, we're still going to go through South India. South India is currently dealing with raiding New South Wales units, and he's doing a pretty poor job against that. So I'm not too fast with him at the moment. In fact, you can see that I'm leaving this border clear. On top of that, I'm also helping to try rebuild this guy, and that is taking some resources, and I should probably actually send him some more, but I mean, I'll get to that later, but I can't afford to spare any more as well. And I'm also rebuilding, or helping rebuild, Korea at the same time, and that's coming along nicely. He has all of his core territory back. He's starting to produce interceptors and planes, and then he can send them to the front and he can put them to good use. Now, he does need to upgrade these a bit and get their range up, or else they're going to struggle on the runway network I've built. The problem at the moment is that this runway network is pretty shocking. I need to do some work on it, but resources, once again, I don't have them. Working on it. And we'll get to that later on, but I mean, in the moment, considering the range they have, he's not going to make it too far. So in terms of what we're planning at the moment is South India is keeping it pretty peaceful, and to get to these territories over here to wipe them out, we're going to have to go through India, because as we can see, we could, you make the most of this to push up into here, then go through like that, but that's just going to make it messy. So it will probably be best if we go through South India and then head further west. At least that's the plan. So once I finish capturing all these territories up here, oh god, it's going to take some time. Oh, I'm going to be here all year just capturing these territories. The thing is too that my morale is not going to be able to stabilize up here. I'm going to need to invest so much in fortifications to hold any land up here. That's going to be hard. So, finish off these guys, then move west. King Congo has already declared war on us, so I have one fleet moving into position at the moment, and we're going to push into the Mediterranean and just disrupt any enemy operations and destroy his navy. Now at this point it is a little too late. If we had gone up here sooner, we would have been able to very easily stop transports and convoys from heading across back and forth, but we're a little late for that. There's not much we can do now. So at the moment we're just going to have to wait for our fleet to get into position, and then we can start to help out. In the Americas we also have Rog and his allies, the North Americans, finishing up, and they're pretty much done with South Argentina now. South Argentina doesn't have much left, and they're pretty much going to jump in on this fight as well. They're also doing a little bit of island hopping, as we can see. North Argentina has a few territories left out here that still needs to be dealt with, so they're moving on and they're getting to those. But, there's not really much more to say. Yeah, we'll get to that in the coming days. So obviously as this starts to kick off a bit more and we start to see a little bit more progress. So onto our economy. As we can see, we're actually doing okay in terms of goods production, manpower, metal, especially oil. Oil's bloody good at the moment. Rare production's great, and we're producing a good amount of money. So what's the problem, you may ask? Well, I'm negative in food, and you can't build an army if you can't feed it. And 83,000 is not going to last too long, especially if I start trying to produce units. As we can see, out of all the province and land I control, I have no troops under construction at the moment. Now, the reason our food has gone so low is because we've captured all of this territory and we've got to feed it somehow. We don't have very high morale in these northern areas, so the resources that are produced in these northern areas are going to be less. So they won't be able to keep up with the demands of their population, so we're having to increase our production elsewhere. So to do this, if we have a look at what we're building, actually I might even just... yeah, so we can see that we have invested a lot in our food production. As we can see, we're building level 1 infrastructure in quite a few different locations, and this is going to lift production massively. We've also got a few air bases under construction, because I need to work on that air network, or else it's just going to be absolutely hammered if any spies get to it. Then we have a few upgrades to industrial centers. These are mainly just for production purposes, so that when we are producing aircraft and stuff in these provinces, we can get the upgrades done faster. In fact, this one here, I think that may have been started before I even took control. Whereabouts is it? Ooh, okay, no, that was probably me. I probably started that one. So that one was definitely me, but I'm not sure why it's going. I could have used that metal elsewhere. So if we come further down the list, we can see that we have more infrastructure upgrades. Now, this is really goddamn expensive. That's why I have no oil at the moment. I'm not, using 600 plus oil an hour on anything else, because it's not cheap. These upgrades here alone all cost 2,000 oil, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 12,000 oil gone just right there. And at the moment, I'm producing about 15,000 oil a day, so that's almost one day's worth of oil production right there. You also see that I am still producing fortifications, and these are mostly in my core and oil producing provinces. Now, as the war goes on and morale starts to drop and gets lower, we claim less capitals. I've been really lucky with the amount of capitals I've been able to capture up until this point. Production is going to drop, so we need to make sure that our oil provinces in particular, and food, when we get there, when we actually have something to keep up, they have high production. Now, also producing them in our core. Obviously, we don't want core provinces to get low morale, or else they produce a lot less. And that's about it. But if we come into our build queue, you'll see the extent of what we've got planned and what will be built over the next few days. Some of it, in fact, yeah, 4 days. Finishes in, whereabouts was that? As you can see, this log right here, for example, finishes in 4 days. It only starts in 2. So you can see that there is a massive strain on our economy, and all of our metal, all of our oil is going into this and making sure we have the necessary resources to be able to deliver and build the economy we need to fight this war. At the moment, with negative 63 food, if we try to produce any troops, we're never ever going to be able to get that down. So I'm making sure I'm taking the time right now while we don't have pressure on us, while I've got time to actually deal with this sort of thing, to actually stop producing troops and focus on fixing the problem at hand. A lot of the other provinces that I'm upgrading to are iron and oil producing provinces. So, you know, once again, once we do get this economy sorted, I'm going to have to start smashing out battleships, carriers, cruisers, subs, destroyers, tactical bombers, strategic bombers, interceptors, naval bombers, heaps of stuff that requires oil. So we're going to need a strong economy to make sure we can get there, and I'm going to make sure we have that strong economy. On top of that, we're also giving resources to Korea and to this guy up here to help them rebuild. Do you have a capital, buddy? Where's your capital? Building one somewhere? You're getting a message on Discord. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to go message him on Discord and make sure he builds a capital. He is going to need it. And then I'm going to go on and I'm going to get back to watching these numbers go up and down as the build queue updates and build stuff. And I'll see you in the next episode. Or not.